Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Happy Monday. I hope August was good to you. I know there's a lot going on in this world. I know 2020 has been interesting. I try to use the word interesting rather than any negative words, but even with everything that is going on, we can still be grateful. We can still thank God for what He's doing and what He's done for us before. And if you're a spiritual person like me, I believe there's more to what's going on than meets the eye. So we just have to trust that it's all going to work out for our good. And I'm not trying to minimize all the losses and all the deaths that have gone on in this world and even in our country. I pray for all the families who've lost loved ones that somehow they can find peace and they can find meaning and they can heal from their losses. So my thoughts and my prayers go out to all those people who've lost loved ones to this pandemic and to any other tragedies this year. But we can always look at the silver lining, we can always look at the blessings, and we can always extract good from what's going on. So because of what's going on in the world now, we need to be mindful of being a good, kind, and positive force in the world. So whatever you're doing, make sure you're pouring out goodness and kindness. Remember the 9 fruits of the Spirit. That's what God wants us to do in times like this. So I'm coming on today because I haven't forgotten the videos. I had told you I was going to be doing the short videos, and I say short, but then I start talking and it's no longer short. But I want to make sure I give you value. So just bear with me. But remember, I had said I was going to be doing videos to help you elevate and improve your reading, writing, and speaking skills. Yes, I'm still going to be doing those videos here and there. And that's why I'm coming on today. Now, whether you're in the digital space for your business or whether you're off digital, in this world now, you have to be able to hone the digital space. I mean, even COVID has taught us that we have to pivot and we have to recalibrate. So even if you have an offline business, you know that you need to bring it online now and recalibrate and find a way to start reaching people in the digital space. And if you haven't done that, this is your call to do it. Now, whether you're online or offline, your reading, writing, and speaking skills have to be really good. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, a business person, I've told you, we've discussed this many times, that the entrepreneurial world is where, especially for us women, the videos I'm doing and the work I do is mostly directed at women, but of course it's going to be useful for men too. But I think of women and kids and home life and all that, homeschooling kids, and I try to think of things they can use to elevate their business without having to do too much and still be able to put it into their daily routines. So make sure that you're starting to create a presence online, because after this pandemic is done, you'll be surprised how many people are going to come out of it fully elevated in their business or their enterprise. They would have taken advantage of this digital space and the engagement, because many people are engaged, so much now all over the world online. And this is an opportunity for us to put our skills and our talents out there. So of course you have to be reading a lot. Writing is a big deal online. Speaking, like I'm doing now, is a big deal. So if you're still hiding and you have a business or a service or a product and you're still too scared to come out and speak, you're watching the biggest introvert of all, who's out here speaking. So you have to start doing it. You have to practice. You have to get good at it. You have to relax, and nobody's judging you. Nobody's wondering about your accent. My accent is still fully Nigerian, as long as people can understand what you're saying. And even if they don't, just keep practicing. So anyway, let me introduce myself. For the people who don't know me, my name is Dr. IYABO Webzo. I'm a life coach for women. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a lifestyle blogger. I love to write. I have one published book on Amazon, and I have 2 others I haven't published yet. My blog is full of a lot of topics, any topic you can think about in life: fashion, money, inner work, outer work, family, relationships. It's all on there. So if you haven't been to my blog before, it's called the Peace Place blog. go to my website, click the link in my bio, and start reading my blogs. I'm also a board certified pediatrician and a physician entrepreneur. I own and run my practice, and I'm on the board of Flow Health, which is the largest women's wellness app in the world. And I've spoken 3 times at the United Nations. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm also a mother of 4. Yes, 4. I have 2 daughters and 2 stepsons, and I'm married to my honey Neil. Okay, so that's me, Dr. IYABO. So what are we talking about today? So everybody bear with me. This is not a criticizing moment, but I'm telling you that I see this a lot on social media. And what I'm trying, let me start first with, if we're talking about putting out excellence, because we also want to attract very good and excellent opportunities to ourselves, we have to put out things of value and things that are excellent. So if you're putting out something that is mediocre, that isn't quite good, that's what you're going to attract to yourself. So, if you want excellent opportunities to you, and I've told you over and over my story about how I got the job at Flow Health. It's because somebody saw me on LinkedIn and probably saw my writing skills and all that, and they saw that I was a pediatrician, obviously, and they hired me to write and edit pediatric articles. So I want to use that as an example first. They wouldn't have hired me if what they read on all my posts was full of grammatical errors. Okay, so I'm warming you guys up. You know where I'm headed. If you're not good at some skills, you need to hire people who are good at them to do it for you. When I wrote my book, I wrote it. I'm already good at writing, and I say that humbly because one of my pet peeves, for you who know me, is grammatical errors. I know some people may think, oh, it's elitist because she's a doctor, but I have a thing about bad grammar when it's written down. I really do. I just feel that in this world where there's so many editors you can hire, where there's so many apps that can help you write properly, you don't have an excuse for bad grammar. Because if your whole feed is full of bad grammar, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract mediocre opportunities. But if you write well and your feed is interesting and it's of high value, people of high value will come to you. So if you know you're not good at writing, or your writing skills are not good, hire an editor. There's many out there that you can afford. Google editor, do hashtag editor. Hire me. I'll edit your posts for you. But every single day, I see way too many posts, sometimes even on graphics. It's like, how can you have a graphic with lots of big words and you didn't read it again and see the big grammatical errors, and the people are just going to scroll on and pass you by? So imagine if you're selling an online course to people and your feed is full of grammatical errors. You're not going to be able to sell those online courses, at least not to people of high value who know, so if you're out there and you know that writing is not your number one skill, there's people who will do it for you, but you're not going to attract high value opportunities to yourself if your grammar is off. And it's fine once in a while, mistake once in a while, but there's some feeds I've seen that, continuously it's just bad grammar. So this needs to change. If some I see it on some posts, there's some people out there like me who have that pet peeve, and I just laugh when I see it because I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one, but I'm just very particular about grammar. And then now I'm married to an Englishman who is like, the king of grammar, and we talk about these things, and it's not that we're making fun of people, but I've kept it to myself enough. I discussed it at my conference and we had a little talk about it, but now I want to tell you what I've been feeling, and I want to help women out there and men. Let me give you an example of the most common grammatical errors I see. There's many that I see, but let's just settle this once and for all. Loose is not the same thing as lose. Loose is when, let's say, your button is loose, okay? And lose is when you lose something. They're different. One has two O's, one has one O. Let's get it right now. Please don't make this mistake anymore. I see it on graphics, I see it on captions. It's not acceptable. You're not going to get high value opportunities if you're making this mistake. Got this one? Loose is not the same thing as lose. To is not the same thing as to. I'm going to work today. That's this one. I'm going to is this one. I'm going to the beach today is this one. She is also coming with us to is this one. Get it right once and for all. It's not acceptable if you mix these up. I is a subject pronoun. I am Dr. IYABO is always used in the capital form. Capital, letter, uppercase, depending on what part of the world you're from. I used to say capital letters. In America, we say uppercase. I is a subject pronoun. You never use lowercase for I in the middle of a sentence or in a sentence. So if you're saying she went to work and I also went to work, you are going to say, you're going to use the capital. I see this a lot and it's not acceptable. You don't use the subject pronoun in lowercase and small letters. And then you probably can't read this, but sentences that go on and on for miles that don't have a full stop or period, I see that a lot. People just write and they don't know how to use a comma or a full stop. You know, example, I am going to work today, then I will go to Whole Foods to buy some veggies. And then I'm going to work today, then I'm going to Whole Foods to buy some vegetables. You can put a full stop there. You don't need to say, I'm going to work today, I'll buy some veggies, spinach, broccoli, this, and then if some people write like a paragraph this long without a full stop or a comma. That's not good grammar. So guys, hire an editor, hire me. There's some captions out there that don't look good. Okay, quickly, your graphics need to be easy to read. There's many fonts, or maybe it's because I'm getting old. Right now I have contacts on and glasses, but there's some graphics that you have to like get a magnifying glass to read them. Make sure your graphics pop and they're easy to read. The next, so I wanted to give 3 or 4 today. The next one, again, is the next tip is make sure that your feed has variety. I don't know how to explain this one. So, just mix it up. You don't have to have a very orderly graphic. There's some people whose feed, there's some people whose feeds are just magnificent. I love looking at them, but I know I don't have the time to do those where everything is ordered, graphic here. Even if you don't have the time to do that, make sure that your graphic is interesting and has a variety of things. Don't post a video that looks, imagine if my feed has a video that looks like this every day. If my hair, I change my wigs all the time. You guys already know me. I have my pixie wig today. But anyway, that's just me. I love to change my wigs, but you don't have to do that. That's just me. But, you change it up. Wear a different lipstick today. Sometimes have a video where people can see your full body. It doesn't matter if you're a size, whatever size you are, whether you're a size 0 or a size 24, you're who you are and you have to be confident. You let people see you, in full length sometimes, not just your face. Mix up your videos, sometimes have a video outside, sometimes have it inside, sometimes do the TikTok one, sometimes don't. You don't have to have your whole feed full of TikTok videos. You can have some graphics, some pictures, mix it up so that people can actually see a wholesome picture of who you are. So the first tip today was grammar. Hire people to help you. The second tip was make sure there's variety on your feed. And then the third tip What was my third tip? Your graphics, make sure the font is easy to read. The last thing I want to say, actually, I have many tips for you today. Engage on your social media. If people post comments, reply. Some of you don't reply to your comments and you want an engaging community. How are people going to keep following you and telling people that you're very engaging? You have to reply to your comments, and if you don't have the time to do it, hire a social media person to help you reply to your comments. But people want to be replied and engaged with, and also hire somebody to reply your DMs for you. You have to communicate with people. Okay, that's it. Thank you.